Okay, today's review is all about solving equations. So we're going to start from one step, then doing two-step, multi-step, variables on both sides, the real shebang. So let's start with one step. So we're always going to do the opposite of whatever is happening to the variable. So if I'm looking at number one, we can see it's r divided by 13 equals 18. So if we want to get r by itself, we want to get rid of that 13. Well, 13 is dividing. Well, the opposite of divide is to multiply. So let's multiply by 13 on both sides. These cancel out, leaving us with r. And 18 times 13 gets us 234. Okay, it's all we have to do here. So for number two, get n by itself by getting rid of that minus 3. Again, what's the opposite of a minus? Add. So you'd add there. Same thing for 3. For 4, again, you've got 3 times r. So the opposite of multiply is divide. And 51 divided by 3 gives me 17. Okay, so there's our one step. Our two steps are a little bit more intense. So if I'm looking at number 7, we can see we're dividing first. So to get rid of a divide, we have to multiply. So multiply by 4, multiply by 4. Those cancel out, leaving with a 7 plus a. And 6 times 4 gets us 24. So I have 24 equals 7a, but I'm still not done yet because I have that 7. It's a positive 7, so the opposite is a minus 7. And 24 minus 7 gets me 17, and that equals a. Okay, but notice the difference between 7 and 8, because 8, only the 7's dividing the v, not the entire thing. So we're actually going to move that 2 first by subtracting. So I have v divided by 7 equals 0. And if I multiply by 7, I still get 0. Okay, so make sure we know the difference of when to multiply first and when to add or subtract first. So let's say if I'm looking at number 11. This one's got parentheses. So distribute that negative 2 through to both. So negative 2 times 7 gives us negative 14. Negative 2 times x gives me negative 2x, and then equals negative 38. Okay, I'm not done yet because I still want to get x by itself. So let's move that 14 over by adding. So if I add 14 on both sides, it leaves me with a negative 2x, and the negative 38 plus 14 gets me a negative 24. Okay, so from there, we want to get rid of that negative 2, so we divide by negative 2, and x equals 12. Okay, so a good handful of different problems here. If you see parentheses, distribute. So let's try. Yeah, let's look at some of these. So if we're looking at, let's say this one here. If we're looking at number 15. Okay, notice we have parentheses there. Okay, but notice it's not in with everything. So let's distribute this 4 through. So 4 times negative 5 gets me negative 20x. Negative 4 times negative 8 gives me negative 32. But I don't want to multiply it, but I want to bring it down. I want to bring down that plus 4. Okay, we cannot forget about that. And then bring down that negative 188. From there, I have multiple things on the same side. I want to combine those. So negative 32 plus 4 gets me a negative 28. Then we can go ahead and bring down that negative 28x and the negative 188. So let's add 28 on both sides. So that gets us negative 160 equals negative 20 divided by negative 20. And negative 60 divided by negative 20 gets me 8. Okay, there's my final answer. Okay, so you might need to combine like terms in some of these. And then lastly, we've got proportions here. So these can get you decimals too. There's nothing wrong with that. So if I'm looking here, we're going to cross multiply because you've got a fraction that equals a fraction. So 9 times x gives me 9x. And then do the same thing with your other diagonal. So 4 times 8 gives me 32. And then what we want to do is divide. So if we divide by 9 on both sides, this one will get us a decimal, and x equals, 3.56. Okay, so you're going to cross multiply for 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. All right. Again, if you get stuck, ask. Check the key if you need help. Good luck.